Oh, I forgot. All right, we are officially live, and I am in the studio. I got Miss Faith Kimbrough on the show with me. Hey, how's it going, lady?
It is going well. It's so good to see you, Kira. I haven't seen you in forever. Thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you, thank you. I'm so glad you was able to join us today. We definitely are going to talk about a few highlights of your life because
Okay.
you've been making strides, honey. And so we're definitely going to touch on a few different things as far as your life and the things that you've overcame.
Okay.
And so for those who do not know, I am Kiera D, founder of the Wives Club, host of the Love Factor podcast. And today, joining me, I have the amazing Miss Faith Kimbrough. She is the Marion County Recorder. So we're going to get to the deets of that for those of you who might not know as far as what that role looks like. But to start off, let's go ahead and just start off in chronological order. Let's talk about a little bit about what your upbringing was like, where you from, and what your lifestyle was like coming up. I We lost your audio. Looks like you hit the mute button. You should see the mute button at the bottom of
I
your
don't know.
screen. There you
I,
go.
I'm so used to Zoom and all of that, so I don't know how that happened. Okay, that
It's
was
all
the
right.
first. So let's rewind. But I am originally from Indianapolis, Indiana, where there's more than corn. So let's
Yes,
say,
indeed.
born and raised. I went to school 53. I remember when there was a Linder's ice cream in the Value City. We used to go in there and get a little Easter clothes from. I went to Lawrence Central High School. Actually, I was bused. That was the first I think we were the first grade school that was bused into a high school where there was predominantly
Wow.
all whites. And yes, that was back in the 1980s. Not to tell my age,
Mm,
but
mm.
yeah. So I was bused to Lawrence, into the Lawrence Township. That was a high school that I went to. But been here all my life, born and raised on the far east side. And so yeah, and I'm the sixth of seven. There's six kids, and I'm
Wow. You
seven
got a
kids.
big
I'm six and
family.
seven, a big family, and I'm the first girl after five knucklehead boys. And then here come a yacky 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 girl. So my brother was like, "Tell her to shut up. She talked too much." I'm like, "What? Hitting on me and knocking me upside the head." I'm like, "Wow."
Listen.
But yeah,
So
so
what was your so you was born in Indianapolis. Did you have mom and dad in the household? What was that like for you?
I did. I had mom and dad in the household, so that was great because I know here, you know, the way it is right now, and it's not like that. But I was very fortunate to have them in the household, and I was also, they said, take care of your mother and father. Your days shall be longer if you honor them.
Mhm.
I
Yes.
did bury both my parents, so but yeah, they were
Yes.
married up until death. So yeah,
Oh, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful.
hmm
How long were they married?
45 years.
That's awesome. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
See, we need more of that in today's time. You hear me?
We
We need
do.
more of
We
that.
we do. We do. And I used to ask my mom what kept them together that long. And I mean, of course, everybody has their trials and tribulations, but it's
Yeah.
communication. It's that's just
Yes.
it. As
Yes.
easy
Yes.
as it sounds, as hard as it may be, it's communication.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I do believe that. And
Hmm.
I always, that's what I preach on. Like, you got to have a conversation with your spouse and you got to make things work. It's about
Yes.
literally making sure you're on one accord and like communicating about all odds and ends. Be friends.
Yes. Be
And so
friends.
I always tell people that. But yes, I definitely agree wholeheartedly.
Hmm.
So I want you to talk a little bit about after high school, obviously,
Hmm. Yes.
you went through life and life came at you. I mean, you have a daughter. Talk a little bit about all of that.
So yes. So after high school, I went to college. I am a Sigma Gamma Rho.
Hey.
Put a little plug in there for my SG Rose. Went to school for sociology, came out, and I dated around, and I remember I went to the club. I saw this guy, and I said, "Ooh." He looked at me, and I looked at him. I said, "Ooh." And it was like love at first sight. I never really believed in it, but it literally was love at first sight. And so he and I,
Wow.
we got together, and we we was married, had Kayla, and we didn't make it, obviously. However, that's okay. But she's 22 years old, and she's my only child.
Definitely, she's a rock star. So if you don't know who Kayla is, honey, all you gotta do is follow Faith. You would know all about Kayla, okay? Little lady got a voice out of this world and everything, and she is doing the thing. And I'm not surprised because of who her mother is. So,
you're too
but
kind.
yes. So I know you talked about a little bit about how you all didn't make it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that communication piece was a factor in that, or
I want so this is the thing. My mom, God rest her soul, she said, "How you get a man is how you keep a man." And I met him in the club.
Yeah.
And I didn't stay in the club. Not meaning that because I guess in my mind, I mean, I'm a PK, right? Preacher's kid.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm a preacher's kid. So I, in and out, right? So I met him when I was out, and then I said, "Well, I'm going back to the church, and I'm taking Kayla with me. I'm going back to the church." And he says, "I'm not going to the church. I'm going to the club." And I'm like, "What?"
He wasn't trying to
So
hear
I
that.
said, "You go back to the club." I said, "I know it's not going to be good." So my mother, she told me, she said, "Listen."
I think we lost you.
She said, "You can still go to church on Sunday, but you need to go to." We lost the audio. You can't hear me?
You're back. Yep, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. She said you need to go back to the club with that man, with your husband. And I said, I'm not. I'm going to church. I'm not going to the club. I'm going to church, and that's what I did. And because I did,
I said, come on now.
Oh, so yeah. So while I'm going to church, he's going to the club. I'm going to church, he's going to the club, and that's what happened. It wasn't even a communication thing. It was pretty much he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing. But I think had I listened to my mom, and because even though we're in the world, but we're not from this world.
Exactly.
We're in the world. So I could have went with him and not been with him, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I should have. And I'm not trying to blame myself, but I take my part in the separation. As a wife at that time, I should have done it, but I didn't. I mean, I was at home praying for him to come home, but I should have went and got him to come home. And so, but yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened with us. So
that's an interesting perspective. So
I didn't really go out to church. Yeah.
Wow. So,
are we frozen?
No, you're good. You're good. On that note, do you feel like life has drastically changed from that point? Like what? I mean, because for people who are still married, we see things one way, but what's life like after marriage? How does that transpire? What's the dating scene like after you've already been there, done that?
Girl, it's to the left, everything. Oh, swipe.
Yes.
Swipe. to the left. I'm like, is anybody worthy to go this way? It's like to the left. No, but after honestly though, but marriage is like a death. I explain it. It's like a death because you actually go through the mourning stages. I was married for 10 years, and not to have, regardless of what happened, when the breakup happened, I felt like I lost a part of me, and I did. I mean, I lost a part of me with him, and I lost a part of myself because I felt like, you think it's what you want, and you go through and you get all this. Yeah, I'm mad, I'm upset. Give me the papers, and then you get them papers, and when it's done, it literally like you go through a mourning stage. It's like a death and a resurrection.
Wow,
divorce is like a death and a resurrection. You literally feel like you are dying, and then you got to get yourself. You got to pick yourself and get yourself back up. So it was hard. I thought that it was going to be easy, but it was hard. It was a lot of working on myself to heal my heart, and so that I can keep going. And honestly, let me see. I did get married again. Okay. Amen. I did 20. That one didn't last that long either. I evaluate and eliminate. Cause see, I ain't got time. I don't have time. I evaluate and eliminate. I just don't. That's why I said communication is key, because I thought this time I would get somebody different. I would get somebody more like me, and it's just like, okay, what's going on? I'm getting the same thing over. So I just said, okay, God, I just need to take a step back. What am I attracting? What do I really want here? And so I was almost engaged, didn't happen. So I'm single. But I can tell you this: I work so much on me, Kira, that I don't carry baggage. I carry luggage.
Yeah, I'm with
I
you.
don't carry baggage. I carry luggage, meaning that I have done all the work inside of me. So when it's
Mm,
time to open up my luggage, and people say, "Oh, you can't say you." No, 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 no. I'm free of jealousy. I'm free of insecurities. I'm free of
yes.
lack. I mean, I've done the work, right? I've done this. I
Yeah,
set my
yeah.
heart right now is so full of self love that my cup runneth over. If that guy
Come
come to
on.
me, to be able to fill me back up, because if not, if I got to continue to pour in me, I'm not pouring out to you. I've done the work.
Come on. Yeah.
And what I have found on the dating scene, that these guys that are out here, they either have not done the work, they're not
Mm-hmm.
ready, or they've been so hurt, they think, oh, you want their pension, you want their
Mm-hmm.
money, what you bring it to the table. I can't stand that question. It's
Come
not
on.
about what am I bringing to the table, how about I am the table.
Come on.
God said he is
Yeah.
going to prepare a table for your
In
enemy. So I
present.
am the table. So this
Mm-hmm.
whole dating thing and being single, honestly, it is what they say. It's for the birds. I really, I do. I'm like, God, I'm in this. I'm in this holding spot, and I'm like, oh
Mm,
God, you working patient in me, because I'm like, where
come
you
on.
at, Jesus? Where you
Well,
at?
you know what? But I applaud you because for the simple fact you did not allow that to stop you in life. You know, some people they probably take that grief
No,
stage, that dying, that losing their self to that marriage, and that's all it took for them. And then it's like they feel hopeless. They don't feel like it's anything left after that. That was their everything. And so I applaud you for, getting back up and continuing to chase after your
mm-hmm.
dreams. So after
Thank
that,
you.
you are so welcome. After that, then I know there was a shift in your life, and you did some phenomenal things. Let's talk about religion in the news and
Mm-hmm.
the book. Let's talk a little bit
Oh,
about that.
yes, sometimes it's like, you focus on the here and now, and not that you forget the past. It's like, oh my goodness, I forgot that we we did all those things. So yes, I got a
Yeah.
chance to work with you, Kiara, on religion and news. And it's crazy because I always had aspired to be on TV, to be like an Oprah. And then when I saw that opportunity, I
Hmm.
thought, oh, this would be amazing to be able to interview people, to showcase their business, showcase whatever
Yes.
they're doing in life. And so I really enjoyed being on Channel 8 with you and the crew. And I hate that we lost our funding, but things happen
I
for a
know,
reason.
right?
And so
Right.
yeah, but that was so big. I mean, that
And
right there,
hold
and
on,
to do it no charge. We was in there free.
girl,
We didn't charge
girl.
nothing. We just wanted to be on there. Yes. So I really enjoyed
But
that time of my life. I really
it
did.
was the fact that you came in there and you broke protocol. Like you was like in there on diva status. And I was like, I can't even be mad at that because you are definitely doing your own thing. In the news industry, we're so accustomed to this traditional appearance. And
Yeah.
you came in there, you would wear the sparkly shoes, all the different fun colors and everything. And I was like, she is truly being her authentic self. And so
Mm-hmm.
I always admired how you
Aw,
showed up regardless. And
thank
not only
you.
that, yes, yes. So you went from that, Faith Kimbrough went from faith to faith. Now let's talk about this book. What was the book? Let's
Yes.
talk.
Oh my gosh. So my book is called Faith in Action, and it's a 7-step process to a purposeful and fulfilled life. You know, I
Mm,
I really need to bring that book back out, because
you do?
I sold a lot of books and people were actually inspired, because this is the thing. People, I feel like we really don't, we look at the scriptures in a literal sense, right? But the
Hmm.
scriptures are there really to help us. And so I just took 7 scriptures and broke it down to where a person can say, okay, because we all want something, right? We want a house,
Right.
we want a car, we want health, we want love, we want money in the bank. We just want things, right? We do. If you say you don't want something, something's wrong with you, right? Even if you want the
Right.
betterment of society, you want something. So how do you get the money in the bank and out of the bank? How do you become healthy? How do you become this YouTube star? How do you become
Right.
a pastor? I mean, like, how do you become these things? So I took these 7 steps, and the main thing that I really in the book that I think that is really, really big is the step when we talk about, so as a man think in his heart, so is he.
Yes, is he? Yes, that is. Ooh, yes.
And so your mind, so whatever you think about, listen,
Mm-hmm.
God didn't say whatever a good man think about,
Mm-hmm.
whatever a bad man think. He said whatever you think about. So when
That's
you
true.
whatever it is you think about all day long, that's what you become. So if you're thinking, I don't have enough money to do this or to do that, and all you think about is I don't have. Guess
The
what?
lack mindset.
You're not going to have, right? So
Exactly. Exactly.
it's taking the scriptures, and I took real life experiences. You got to have faith. You got to think. I mean, you got to ask God. We want to be in His will, not in His way. So these 7
Mm-hmm.
steps that I take the reader through. Actually, I've seen people call me and say they got new houses. They got married. They started this
Yes.
one girl. She's selling so many houses. Like, she's a millionaire. I mean, and I just be like, really? For reading my book. And then my pastor, he read it, and he said he believed that this, I can't quote him right now, but I know he said that he felt like the book was just going to be like a game changer for the world.
And it was. It definitely, because I remember reading the book. And
Yes.
I mean, like, honestly, those principles that you put in the book is what I live by.
Mm-hmm.
Even when it came to getting Wives Club, like, oh my goodness, if y'all knew the story behind how I actually got my space, mind blowing, right? But
See?
I kept putting my mind there. It took what, almost 9 years before it came to fruition at this level. And,
Wow.
and it's like I never gave up. But
No.
now it's like I'm just watching how God unfolds things. So yes, those principles was so on point. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just to watch how you transition not only from the host at Religion in the News to the author, but now you are officially making
Officially.
history. Making history. Like your
Yes.
name is gonna be in the history books. Like literally,
Literally.
you're gonna be in Indianapolis history. Let's
Yes.
talk about this new role that you are in, sis.
Yes. So
Like,
I'm so excited about this. So thank you all who voted for me. I am the first African American recorder. Marion County was founded in 1903. There has
woo,
never been a black recorder in
come on,
history.
come
In
on.
history.
Women's History Month at its finest. But okay, come on. Yes, I'm here for it.
And think of this, when I was running, it really didn't dawn on me that I was going to be making history. I was
Mm,
I was so busy, and I still am, want to educate people, because the recorder's office is all about land. And we
mm.
were built on land. If you look in the Bible in Jeremiah, it talks about the recorder's office in Jeremiah. Yes, it does. In
That's
the book of
good.
Jeremiah, it talks
Come
about
on.
it, and the surveyor, and how all this became about. So just really quick, people say, how did you decide you wanted to be the recorder? I've been in politics for the last 10 years as a precinct committee person. But
Mm,
here my dad was dying. And he said, well, I wanna, give you the house. And I'm thinking, like, how you gonna give me something you still owe on? I
mm.
don't I
Well,
don't I don't think you can do that. And
right.
so I knew he had kidney failure, so I knew that his time was coming. And I didn't know what to. I was frantic. I was running around, my chicken with the head cut off. And I called my girlfriend. She said, you need to go to the recorder's office. I said, the recorder's office.
Mm-hmm.
Now I said, well, I knew it wasn't the newspaper, but some people think we are the 100. They think we're the recorder newspaper. So she said
And
the office.
that is a common myth, because I promise when I saw that you was running for that at one point, I was like, Indiana. But then you clarified on one of your posts that it
Yeah.
was not the Indianapolis Recorder. So for
It's
people
not.
who are not from Indianapolis, there is a newspaper called the Indianapolis Recorder. And
Mhm.
so go ahead, continue.
Yeah. And so I had to just, So I found myself at the recorder's office at the city county building on the 7th floor, and I'm crying. I need help. And she said, "Okay, this is what you need to do." She said, that we really don't advise, but here's the forms. Get this taken care of and come back. So
Mm-hmm.
it's called a quit claim deed. Quit,
Mm-hmm.
QUIT, quit claim deed. But then my mom was still on the deed, and she was
Mm,
deceased. So I'm
mm.
like, well, how do she can't sign nothing. So I had to do a survivorship affidavit. I had to get my dad to sign off on that. Okay. Get him to sign a quick claim deed. I'm running around here getting all this paperwork. And Kiera, my dad passed away literally 2 weeks after he signed those papers.
Wow.
Now,
Wow.
now had I not
You
have
got
got to
that
the
done
recorder's
just in
office,
time.
huh?
You got that done just in time.
I mean, God is an on-time God.
Yes, he
Had
is.
I not have got to the recorder's office when I did, that house would have been in probate. The mortgage
Mm,
still got to get paid. I mean, you still got to take care of the water, the lights while it's going through all of this. And I said, God, I thank you. And I was able to hire Pam Webb, shameless
mm-hmm.
plug. She is with Pam Webb Real Estate. And she actually sold my parents' home within 2 months.
Wow. Wow.
Too.
That
And
is
so I said, well,
amazing.
you know what? How many people don't know what the recorder's office can do for them?
Yes.
Which we hold public records of property transactions, such as liens, deeds, mortgages, and more. And the more is quick claim deeds, transfer upon death, survivorship, affidavits, things like that. We have those forms and we hold those deeds and those copies in this office. And so I
Okay.
said, I'm going to go out here and educate people in this office who don't know. Now, this was back in
Especially our
2017.
people.
Yeah,
Our people.
especially
Yes.
and this was back
Yes.
in 2017. So the office wasn't available. I didn't know that this
Mm,
office was going to become available. And when it
wow.
did, I thought, you know what? I might as well run for it. I've been talking about it. It was an open seat.
Come on
The
now.
person was term limited. She couldn't run anymore. So I said, I'm going to do it. So for 2 years prior to the race, I've been out there in the community, talking to
Mhm.
people, telling them about the recorder's office. And when I won, I'm telling you, I I couldn't believe it. I said, I'm not going to believe it until I see the check mark.
See.
And when I seen that check
Yes.
mark by my name, I said, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
Yes.
So here we are.
Yes.
So here we are. And I'm in the office right now, actually. I'm here in
Amen.
the
Listen,
office.
I just love how that all unfolded for you. And
Yes,
just like
yes.
when I say from faith to faith, honey, you really living that, like living out your name
Oh,
for
yeah.
real, for real. Because you go from being on TV to being like elected to the Marion County Recorder's office. Like it's just like who does that? I mean, especially on like us, it's
Right.
like we don't see this enough in our community. And I'm just
Mhm.
grateful that you was bold enough to go for it and you didn't let anything stop you.
No, because I didn't, as you know, if you saw in the headlines, I didn't have really any backing, but Robin Shackelford, she's running for mayor,
Mhm.
state representative, right? She was the one that really came and helped me because she saw me before I ran. She said, "I see
Mm,
you trying to help people lose weight. I see you faking action out here, helping the kids go to
yes.
school, buying
Yes.
gas, getting haircuts. I see you working on other people's campaigns." She said, "I see your worth and your value." She said, "Because of that, I am going to support you." And she
Wow.
supported me, and with a handful of volunteers and $20,000 and Marion County is 917,000 residents strong.
Mm,
So
wow.
yeah, so God said, I'm not going to give you a lot of nothing
Hmm.
because they're going to give me the glory.
Come on now.
God said, I'm going to give my glory through you. So no, you're not going to have a lot of volunteers. No, you're not going to have a lot of help. And you definitely are
Come
not
on.
going to have a lot of money. Because when it's all said and done, they're going to say, how did you do that? And you're going to say, I could not have did it, but through the grace of God.
And that's exactly what it is. Like, oh my goodness, because for you to basically be elected into this position with that type of backing, like that's not normal. It is not normal.
No. Oh, there's
So,
people in one township that raised like $50,000. They got 30,000 people. $50,000 in one township. I had 9.
mm,
There's no way I should have won with $20,000.
mm,
No way.
yeah. Wow. That's a
Maybe
testament in itself.
no.
So that is a testament in itself. But I know we only got a few more minutes left. Couple
That went
things
fast. You doing all
I
that
know.
talking.
Right.
You doing all that. So you was talking back then. Now you talking. Oh, they talk. You done talked up the whole 30 minutes, Jesus.
But no, I want to talk a little bit about so the role that you play as far as the Marion County Recorder.
Yes.
When it comes to, because people are not aware of how this works. Right. So say for instance, you got somebody who have a house and they put the house or in their will for one of their loved ones.
Okay.
But the name is not on the deed. Talk about how that works. Would they still have rights?
The name is not on the deed, but they will the house.
Yeah. How would that work?
So if they will if it's in a will and they will the house to them, you go through that.
Okay.
The will would be standing, but it's good to get that house. It's called like a transfer upon death. So if you know that you're going to be passing away, that's why you see a lot of our seniors now, they're getting the houses out of their names and giving it to their children without going through the will and all of that. They're just saying, hey, I want to go ahead and give this home to Kiara. Just like with my dad, he wanted to will me the house, but he still owed money on it. I didn't know that you could do that, which you can. I didn't know this. So there are a lot of things that I'm out here educating people on, especially like with me. I'm a baby boomer, but at the same time, I'm going to be taking care of my situation. Now I'm going to get my house over into Kayla's name because, even though I'm still paying for it, I can still do that now.
Yeah.
I can still do that now. Mm-hmm.
That's dope. That's amazing. I think I might need to do that. I'm gonna take a page out your book then. Okay.
Yeah, because people like you said that. You want your kids to have all this. You don't want them to go through a lot of things to get the home or anything like that. Just take care of it because I know wills are expensive too. Unless you write your own on paper. But my mom, I think she spent like $500 for an attorney just to write her will up, and she passed before my dad, which his verbal or whatever he was doing trumped hers. So wills are expensive.
Okay. Well, last question before we get out of here. How can someone find out if they're a victim of redlining?
A victim of who?
Is it called redlining? Like when somebody is like in one of those houses, or basically it's red something. I'm drawing a blank right now. But
so you want it say like if somebody squatting in the home and they don't have I never heard of it, and I'm trying to.
I could have sworn you recently posted something about redlining. Let me pull it up.
Probably fraud alert, and it's probably when what we do is if somebody tried to access your deed or anything with in your name, and they try to get your records, we can let you know that somebody tried to access your deed through fraud alert. There has been a lot of fraud when it comes to title companies because people are actually going to these homes and they're trying to fix Tate and try to say they're this person and they're really not. So they really are scamming the title companies, and you don't want anyone to try to come in and get a copy of a deed in your name, but it's not you. So they're posing as you. So if anybody try to access your record, we have the free fraud alert that we can put on your account, and it's free. You just go out to the website through the indigov.com, or you can type in fraud alert and put that on your deed, because these scammers are really getting slick out here. And we want to make sure that we help protect at all costs the deeds or any records that you put out here, even though it's accessible to the public, no different than Google. We want to alert you to let you know that somebody is trying to get a hold of your deed.
Wow. I didn't even know that was like possible. And see, I be getting these calls for my house. I'm like, why are y'all calling me? I'm on the do not call list.
They will call you. They will send things in the mail. I probably get 10 to 15 calls a day. So, if they're calling you, next thing you know, they're going to be trying to be you. So if you own your home, they'll put the free fraud alert. And like I said, you can just Google fraud alert. You can go to Indigov. Marion County Recorder's office, and like I said, it's totally free. Just put your name, your phone number, your email, and you're done. That's it.
Okay, cool. For people who are not familiar, I want to get back to redlining real quick. So for people who are not familiar with redlining, basically it's when a loan, or you refuse a loan or insurance to someone because they live in an area deemed to be poor, or a poor financial risk. So basically, based off of your area, you would not be able to get a loan. So that's redlining for anybody who is watching.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, educate me because we wouldn't deal with anything like that. That would be totally different. But that's some good information to know though. Don't be trying to redline me because they try to say I don't make enough money or have enough money to move in the area that I'm
Yep.
redline. Oh
Yep.
wow.
So basically, say for instance, a lot of blacks are redlined. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot of blacks, but there has been times where blacks were redlined because they would try to move into like a more wealthy area or upscale area, and based off of their economical status, they'll be
Yeah.
told that they don't qualify, and so
Wow, that's
that's
probably a
why.
part of gentrification because they try to keep us out. Because some of us probably can't afford to be in those $600,000 homes they building in the area where the homes are only you pay 34,000 for it, and they want you to get out. That's probably a part of that.
Yeah, you're probably right,
Wow.
but it's real. I remember like back when COVID had hit,
Yeah.
everybody started talking about a lot about that, and it's just like we as Black people started getting educated because all of this crime was happening with police brutality, and
Yeah.
then that's when I started seeing a lot of information surface about redlining, and I was just like, I thought it was real interesting. So I thought maybe that would fall under your umbrella since it still deals with the housing
With the
industry.
house,
But
we that once you buy that house out of redlining, it will bring that
okay,
deed. Bring that. We'll have a copy of that deed because we know you
okay,
could afford that home. So yeah, but that
got
was
you.
good though. Good information for me as well. So thank you.
Yes, you are so welcome. Well, I just want to say, sis, I am so proud of you and making
Aw,
history.
thank
Really, like, I
you.
mean, we can go on and on. We know we can talk, but
We can. I would love to come back. I miss talking to
yes.
you anyway.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Look,
Tell
I'm gonna take our
people
picture.
if they ever need anything. Oh, you're gonna take. Hey.
Hey, if
If
they ever
they
need anything.
if they
Mhm.
ever need anything as far as your office is concerned, how would they go about contacting you?
Yes, we are located at the recorder's office at the City County Building downtown on the 7th floor. The City County Building is located at 200 East Washington Street, 46204. And you can reach out to me directly at 317-327-4099.
All right, y'all. Well, y'all heard it best from Faith Kimbrough, aka Marion County Recorder, doing the
Yes,
thing.
thank
Again, my name is Kiera.
you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me, sis. And
Yes,
make sure
thank
y'all,
you.
you are so welcome. Make sure y'all join us back here next week, same time, same place. We're going to have another person who was elected into her position too. Okay. So you don't want to miss that. Making history. We celebrating Women's History Month and doing it at its best. All right. My name is
All
Kiera. Y'all have a
right.
phenomenal week.
Bye.